Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, we continue again our discussion on emotional and dependent behaviors. Alright, being emotional in children's behavior and being dependent behavior, the definition we can understand as refer to behavior of the children's that relates to inability to be independent. So children's showing their behavior, showing that they unable to be independent. To be independent here means they are depending on others. So they are depending on adults, or they are depending on people surround them to do something. So that is the meaning of dependence behavior. Okay, being independent among children is quite normal, right? Because of their age for young children. But being too dependent for growing child, that is not normal, right? By the age of preschoolers, normally they start or they begin to show their independency. And then how we can see that the behavior of the children is being too dependent, and we can see that by their behavior or the expression of emotions. So being emotional among children are annoying for adult if it is happen too frequent. So let us discuss and let us have a look at the example of being emotional, or the different type of emotional and dependent behavior. All right, here we have 6. The first one is crying, okay, and then pouting or sulking, and then thumb sucking and nail biting, and temper tantrum, baby talk, and then the last one is pants wetting and soiling. So this is the example or the different type of emotional children's being emotional and depending on the adults too much while they are growing as a preschool children. So normally become preschoolers, they will be able to be independent on certain basic routine. They are not simply crying on something. They will not pouting or sulking, showing face which they are not happy. Thumb sucking and nail biting, it is not happen on the preschoolers. Children's temper or tantrum without reasons. Baby talk, they shouldn't do this because they are growing, and they should pass all this behavior while they are growing, and still urinate in their pants or defecates in their pants not using toilet, which is this is a dependent behavior which will cause problems on adult, which refer to parents as well as teachers at school. So this basic dependence behavior will suppose or shouldn't happen in school, because this behavior showing that these children's they are not ready for school yet, and normally it's not happening for preschool children's. All right, because that will cause another extra um, job for the teachers need to handle on the basic dependence behavior. All right, so let us discuss the first dependent behavior, which is crying. So crying, some children cry because this is the only way they can convey needs. They cry to express anger, or they feel hurt, or they fear or frustration, sadness, etc. Children with emotion and dependence behavior tend to cry because they find it to be an effective way of getting attention from adults. All right, crying is a normal for babies because they couldn't speak, they couldn't talk. The only way to communicate, to express anything they wish or they want to happen is by crying. So it is quite normal for baby. But for preschool children, when they reach age of 5 or 6, crying shouldn't be seldom. Crying should not be as frequent as when they are in a toddler age. Okay? And crying shouldn't be a daily basis things. So crying on preschool children's when something is really serious. Fighting, they feel really bad, for example. Okay, really in pain, they will cry. But if a small things, small simple situation, they cry. So it means they are behaving like a childish in the sense that referring to younger children's. You're referring to toddler age. Toddler age tend to cry more in order to express their feelings. If they feel anger, they will cry. If they feel hurt, they will cry. If they fear, they will cry. If they feel frustration, they will cry. If they feel sad, they will cry. So for preschool children, they are not supposed to cry in all expression of their bad feelings. They can learn to talk, to discuss with the teachers or caregiver in order to express their emotions. So expressing emotions via crying is a sign of dependence behavior. Okay, that is number one. Crying is a type of dependence behavior. Number two is temper tantrum. Temper and tantrum. Okay, child frequently has tantrum when he or she does not get what he or she desired. The child who throws tantrum has found that it is an effective way of getting what she or he desires from adult. Therefore, the behavior is more likely to be repeated by the child whenever he or she wants something from an adult. temper and tantrum. All right, temper and tantrum normally happen whenever the children's genetically unable to control his or her behavior due to cognitive problems. For example, children um who have a symptom of Asperger or ADHD or severe or serious autism. So they might show a tantrum because of internal factors, biological factors. So that is normal when they are in a um, older age or preschool age. But if children's at the preschool age which doesn't show or doesn't have a symptom of Asperger or autism, but they still being tantrum and temper if they want something or they desire something, that is a sign they are becoming dependent. They are unable to discuss and talk nicely, to express their feelings, or to request from the teachers, but they are simply being tempered and showing or throw tantrum as a way of getting something from adult. So if parents keep fulfilling their desire while they wish something by showing or throw their tantrum, actually that become a cause. They bring that behavior into classroom. Whenever they wish or they want something or desire of something from their teachers, they will simply show tantrum. They will shouting, they will um, being aggressive in order to ensure that they wish or desire had been fulfilled. So this will cause problem in the classroom while they are with their friends. So what is the cause and effect of this? Their friends will scare, and then of course it will cause a relationship problems with the others. And then the complaint from the children to their parents also will cause another problems on that particular children's due to unable to be independent. Okay, so normally this kind of behavior will lead these children to be withdrawn from school or expelled from the school due to safety, due to disturb the children, the rest of the friends. So that is number two. Number one is crying. Number two is temper tantrum. All right, let us go to number three, pouting or sulking. Really just silent form of tantrums. So being physically aggressive, being showing in physical expression, that we call it tantrum and temper. But there is another way of showing a silent tantrum is by showing or expressing their face, to show their face by sulking and pouting. Dalam bahasa Melayu kita panggil buat muka muncung, buat muka tarik muka. Itu adalah satu ekspresif Alright, yang menunjukkan dia tak suka atau dia marah. Jadi some parents yang kurang strong, alright, yang memanjakan anak. Bila nampak je anak buat muka, bila nampak je anak memuncungkan muka, tunjuk muka tidak puas hati, parent terus menunaikan permintaan dia. Jadi every time bila anak dia buat muka, anak dia muncungkan muka, ibu dia terus tunaikan permintaan dia, beri apa dia nak. Jadi perilaku seperti ini ataupun parenting style like this will spoil your children. Dia akan buat perangai yang sama bila berada di sekolah. So apa akan berlaku? Dia akan mengganggu proses pembelajaran. Dia akan mengganggu kelas. Because they will not move forward. Dia akan takkan stop untuk menunjukkan ekspresif muka, tunjuk tidak puas hati, ekspresif marah untuk mendapatkan sesuatu. Jadi sifat dan perangai macam ni jika berlaku di dalam kumpulan di sekolah, susah untuk mendapat kawan. They will have problems in relationship, in making friends, because they are being deviant. Dia akan jadi pelik di kalangan rakan-rakan kawan-kawan. Alright, sulking and pouting are really just a silent form of tantrums. Children who are over control, sulking or pout, because they are never been given a chance to learn how to get what they want verbally. Children who have permissive parents sulk because it works. Alright, so normally it happens from a parenting style or which parents on the categories of permissive parents. Ini jenis-jenis parenting style kita belajar sebelum ni, right? Ataupun maybe you can check on it. There are different type of parenting style. There are the authoritarian parenting style, there are authoritative, there are the permissive parents. So permissive is one of parenting style which is ineffective or will bring a bad impact or effect on the children's development. Okay, done. There are type number 3, pouting or sulking, in order to show their emotion, expressive their emotions, and being depending children. Okay, next is baby talk. Baby talk refers to the behavior whereby the child speaks in the manner that is not in character of his or her age. It may involve the use of incomplete words, imperfect sentence, gurgling, and mispronunciation of words, elimination of certain sound in a words. So basically, those who are doing this talk like a baby, talk in incomplete sentence, gurgling, mispronounce, normally baby, because they are still in a stage of early child or infancy. Maybe by the age of 2 years, while they are in the process of using their first conversation, that is normal. But for preschool, for younger children and for older children who used to talk to others by using a baby talk, it is not normal. Right? They are purposely using this baby talk. They feel that they are just like a baby. But when they move to the classroom, within the peoples around them, at their same age, for example, when they're in a 5 years old class or 6 years old class, using a baby talk to communicate with others, with friends and with teachers, this will be not normal. Not normal in a sense that showing that they are still dependent to the adults, means they are not suitable to be in a classroom. So they are not ready for school and they need to go back to their home, being taken care of by the parents as a baby. So that is another type of dependence behavior. And then next is thumb sucking. Thumb sucking. The behavior of sucking of their thumb. Okay, their fingers. Maybe thumb, maybe, but normally it's a thumb. Alright? Normally those who are sucking thumb is baby. Replacing a bottle. So when there is no bottle, wherein there is no nipples, they will suck the thumb. So that normally happen to babies, normal. Okay, because they're unable to control that behavior. The sucking is a reflex behavior. But when preschool children still sucking their thumb, that is abnormal. And then nail biting. Okay, so there's another sign why they are doing this. This behavior is becoming a concern if they become a habit to the child. Usually, the children do not participate in any group activities if they are displaying this behavior. Jadi guru-guru sepatutnya menjadi lebih concern sekiranya habit ataupun behavior menghisap jari ni ataupun gigit-gigit kuku ni pada kanak-kanak yang kebiasaannya takut untuk berada dalam grup, dalam kumpulan. So this behavior also become a way to react to the unknown event. So kadang-kala children yang ada masalah untuk bersosial, berkomunikasi with the rest of their friends, takutkan crowd, dia akan automatically biting their nails, menunjukkan dia mempunyai rasa anxious, risau, cemas. So kita boleh lihat lah, kalau tiba-tiba dia gigit kuku, bermakna children ni berasa cemas. Unnecessary feeling anxious. Thus, when the child feel anxious, he or she will bite nails. Jadi perilaku menggigit kuku, menghisap jari adalah perilaku yang dependent. Tidak boleh lagi berdikari. Kebiasaannya kanak-kanak yang berada di usia prasekolah boleh berkomunikasi dengan parents in order to express their feelings. Kalau dia rasa cemas, dia akan bertanya, dia akan berkomunikasi. So this display of behavior need to be take into account. Means teacher need to concern why they are keep doing this. Alright, thumb sucking and nail biting is one type of dependent behavior. And the last part is pants wetting and soiling. There is time when the child does not urinate or defecate into the toilet, but instead releasing it in their pants. Kalau kanak-kanak kencing dalam seluar, buang air besar dalam seluar, tidak dapat kontrol, for example, sekali setahun, boleh diterima. Tapi kalau selalu, tak boleh terima. Accidentally, sakit perut, syirit, it's normal. But kalau defecate, tidak ada masalah sakit perut, buang air di dalam seluar, that is abnormal for preschool children. Alright? Plus their age is 5 and 6. That is totally abnormal. They should go to toilet, or they must have a problems. If it happen frequent, kalau dah berlaku selalu, lagilah tak normal. Sekiranya kencing dalam seluar, dalam bilik darjah pada usia 5 tahun, so means they still tidak berdikari. So suppose at school age, they able to settle down these problems, urinate and defecate, it should be in a toilet. They know how to use toilet. And plus, children who are unable to flush while they are finished, urinate or defecate, if they are not flushing, also that will show a problem. Means they are dependent. They are lack of toilet training. This is supposed to be done at home. Parents supposed ensure that the children settle down these defecates or urinate or this toilet training before they go to school. This is becoming a problem, of course, if it has happened frequently. They intentionally refuse to use the toilet or sometimes holding it and releasing it right after the pants are put on. Ini lagi bahaya. Dia dengan sengaja tak nak pergi ke toilet, memang sengaja tahan, menunggu the right moment untuk melepaskan di dalam bilik darjah tanpa ada rasa segan, tanpa rasa malu untuk membuang air besar di dalam kelas. So this is dependence behavior. The child may also do so to get the intention that they want. Ini lagi satu masalah. Kalau dia membuang air besar ataupun sengaja buang air kecil dalam tandas, menunggu the right moment bila semua orang dalam kelas, so this show that these children is dependence. Dia sengaja untuk mendapatkan perhatian. So normally these happen due to parenting style being ineffective. So problem ini berlaku bermula daripada rumah and then membawa ke sekolah. So these are the things or the different type of emotional or independent behavior. So we discussed from the first one, crying. Let us recap. Crying, children pouting or sulking, thumb sucking and nail biting, and then showing their tantrum or temper, and then baby talk, pants wetting and soiling. So these are the emotional expression of children's at the age of preschool children's. So if children showing this type of behavior or dependence behavior, it shows that these children are still in a state of dependence. Means they are not ready to learn at school. So they need to uh, settle down this uh, basic needs routine at home before they go to school again. So I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.